Welcome back. Whatever the rest of Welcome Back, Mr. Cotter theme song is, I can't sing, so I don't remember all the words. So hope everybody had a good break and is rested or beginning to be rested. So we'll get into it and we'll get into the agenda and we'll move forward because this is pretty packed. The main thing, so item one's read only. So welcome back. My question to you all is your currently known PTO booked in what the app formerly known as PTO Ninja? So if not, would you please get it added? So we are already working at reduced capacity. This is just helping us lean into transparency about who is available for whatever as we get towards the end of the year festive period. So if you would please check and file if necessary. And I'll let Taylor speak to him being cold.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that is one that I encourage y'all. Definitely take time off. We've accomplished so much this year. Really do recharge your batteries. I am planning to do that. I'm going to be in Montana from the 4th to the 29th skiing. My hours will be all over the place. So if you need me, direct ping me. And there's a formal vacation there in there as well. So definitely do feel free to take time. Don't not do that. Seriously, like actually take some time off, y'all.
Related to that, because of the amount of stuff that we've actually done, and which can be measured, if you want a proxy variable for how much stuff this group of people is responsible for releasing into the wild, um, we can take a look at the number of release posts that we're responsible for, and we're not done with the year yet. And that's actually going to be a plan for one of these weeklies, where that's going to be the entire agenda is everything that we did, just kind of celebration. So more to come on that once we get it organized. I'll move on. Number two. So new as if you were on the, I'm not going to call it stage wide, sub-department wide weekly earlier today, there was a note from me that the new and improved office hours is happening. It starts on Thursday. So linked to that issue where everything has gotten set up, it is on the GitLab team meetings calendar. Supposedly the entire company was invited, so you might have gotten a meeting invite for it. So it launches this Thursday. Just to, explicit is better than implicit. Attendance is optional. I do have requests though, and it has to do with demos. So we do a pretty decent job of technical demos here, but there's a gap. And that's in the hands of those, that's a demos that's understandable by those that are representing us to our customers. So non-technical demos of technical topics. And so there's a request of we'd be able to fill that void. And hopefully this is a meeting series where we can begin to do that. So my ask of you is to, and this will be something you'll see me starting to emphasize in one-on-ones, is about, hey, can we get a demo for this? Or can you teach me how to do a demo for this? So that can become regular fodder for this meeting series. So any questions on that?
The only thing I would say is I really don't know what to expect from the field. Thomas and I have been tracking requests that come in from us from all over the company and trying to redirect people to come to that meeting. We'll see how successful we are. I think it might take a week or two for people to get in the habit of coming to that rather than asking all of their questions in Slack, but we'll see.
Okay. Moving on, because I didn't get serious objections to this a couple of weeks ago. The Epic workflow, and the liberal arts person inside me is hating that term because it's not a workflow, but it's we're officially signed up to trial it. So if you missed that or missed that conversation or the workshop presentation or that agenda doc, that information is available here. I've got one specific epic that I'm using kind of as a sentinel, and that has to do with mono repo support. And I know there's a conversation in Slack about whether or not we want to keep calling it that or not. But so we're going to try this out. And I know that this comes with constraints, but those are things I think we can work within. But I would appreciate the conversations in one-on-ones or in issues or what have you. Ross, why don't you keep us moving forward?
Yeah, so I opened an issue quite a while ago about getting rid of SAS default analyzers variable and moving to SAS excluded analyzers. There's some discussion and multiple proposals in there, but we don't operate on consensus. So, I just want to make sure there weren't any strong objections to moving forward with the proposal as is. Like as I listed in the issue, my primary concern was parsing for the SAS config UI, parsing rules to be able to show and edit the GitLab CI YAML file for that. But feedback in the issue is welcome if there isn't any comments now.
The only thing that stood out to me was we really need to make sure we're crisp on whatever those variable names are going to be.
Yes. Yep. But one of the proposals involved 0 variables. So until we decide not to do that, no need to figure out how to name things because it's hard. We already touched on my other issue or agenda item that Taylor updated his office. So
okay, I will say that
else
I've been wanting to have it for a long time. The whole thing when I joined, I backed this on Kickstarter. It's cool because you can like move the shelves around. It's like a grid system. So it's gonna change with the seasons. So if you have ideas or things that you want to see, let me know.
Nice.
First request is something from Montana when you get back. So something you found on the slopes maybe. Got to start with a hard one because I think all that stuff will be meltable, right?
I think the floor is yours, Lucas.
Cool. This one's probably read only, but in case anyone has a comment or question, special call for our brainstorming session on splitting the common library or other ideas. This was in the secure weekly, but this is scheduled for this Wednesday. And it probably affects our stage or our group more than a lot of other groups in the stage. So if you have opinions, please bring them.
What time? I was looking for it because I was gonna definitely.
It's on the secure calendar.
Oh, okay. Oh, I found my stage strategy. Is that it? Stage strategy.
Sorry, it's Thursday. Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific.
Says you're attending, Daniel, too.
I found it. Cool. Thank you. Oh, and I'm attending. Perfect. Thank you.
Nothing like those the meetings that sneak into your calendar. All right. And yeah, this is a big topic. It's important. Not that people here need motivation for attending, but of all the groups that are impacted by changes to Common as it currently stands, this one is impacted the most, just because we subscribe to it the most. So anything that we can do to figure out a way to help us approach it more safely is a good idea, is a good thing. So thank you, Lucas, for organizing this. All right. On a less serious note, it is, since we're entering the end of year festive period, And we're not all in one physical location, nor is it safe to be so this year. Might anyone be interested in like a virtual happy hour in the next couple of weeks?
So what will happen in these happy hours?
You can bring a beverage or whatever of your choice. So similar to a coffee chat, but it'll be towards the evening. And some more information to come on that, and we'll do something. This is a question on whether or not I can figure out what to do, so I'll start working on it. Okay, I heard yes. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll find a time. More info to come. Hopefully before people disappear into Montana. For more info. Not that it'll be scheduled before then, but more info. All right. All right, we've entered the Taylor section.
Okay, so we've got a 13.8 planning issue. I'm still pulling together the plan that I told you back a few weeks ago, where basically I think what I've come to the decision on is I'm going to make an epic of all of our planning issues. The epic itself will have the like running list of what Thomas and I have talked about through like 14.0.
It's scary.
It's not that scary. It's very accomplishable. It changes a lot, which is why I don't want to put it into issues. So my thought basically is that this epic is where you come for all things planning. We'll keep a running list in the epic description of just all the things we're thinking about as it moves around. And then as a release it comes up, I'll pull whatever the release is into its own planning issue off of the top of that list and keep all of those planning issues linked in the epic tree. That's kind of my current working thought. And then I plan to link that into the direction document and all of that. So yeah, take a look at the 13.8 stuff. We're keeping it intentionally light. Hopefully there aren't any real surprises. I think the only thing I need to add into that is we do need to come to a decision on what are we wanting to deprecate or remove in 14.0. I do want to start actually getting those deprecations announced. So that might be worth like actually doing in 13.8. So yeah, feel free to add comments or questions. It's very much a proposal at the moment, but kind of where my head is at. Any thoughts on that? The other thing related to this, I've kind of become frustrated with my own organization of our issues and all of the hierarchy trees that we've gotten, like the keep SAST updated epic that kind of is just where I dump things. So over the holidays, I'm probably going to move a whole lot of issues around and rethink how I've structured organizing all of this. I don't know what that looks like, but if you've got ideas of how you wish things were organized, now's the time to let me know. I'll let y'all know before I move a whole lot of things around, because I'm sure it'll create a lot of email noise. But know that that's definitely on my mind. Okay, and then moving on, the AWS project. So the meeting with AWS last on the 15th of November went really well. They're very happy with where we're at. We're considering this escalation closed. In general, I know we still need to do some cutover to their new API. We've got the release post out that announced our post-processing feature. That included a link to a form for any other vendors to express interest in integrating. We've had one other SaaS company fill this out. I'm going to have the alliances team reach out to some of the other cloud vendors to explore their interest in integrating with this. But in general, everyone around the org is very thrilled with how this has turned out. I think this was a shining moment for static analysis gets things done. So great work on this. I did want to see what is left. I know we need to cut over to their production service. And I know that there's a little back and forth we need to have with Devore to get him to approve that.
So I can talk about what is left. So right now, so we are testing with SRS dev. That means the dev environment with the automation team's implementation. And it's working fine. Like the Rails is sending production traffic to dev environment, and dev environment is sending the traffic to AWS API, actual AWS service. And we tested with both AWS team and the automation team that it's working fine. Now, after more testing, maybe we can switch to the production environment, but I think the production environment is not ready yet. Their automation team is working on that to make the production environment ready. And I think that will be, they will switch, they will actually hand over their work to another team because they need to monitor the production environment using different like tools by release team. Maybe that's why they're taking this much time. But from our side, we are ready. We just need to switch different URLs. That's it. Like we are ready. It looks like everything is working fine, and there are some minor follow-ups that we can address. That we can do in parallel. It will not hamper the regular release. Yeah, that's the that is the thing that is left over. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I've been following that follow-up issue. I thought the production readiness review process was interesting. I had not seen that before. So it might be worth y'all just taking a look at it just because I didn't know it existed. It sounds like the secure automation team is going to handle getting that ready.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's why I asked that question. Who is actually taking that over? So am I supposed to write that or other team? I'm not sure. The main purpose of that release review is what if anything happens to the sidekick job, okay, who is going to handle that and how we can mitigate the incident. So I'm not sure. That's why I asked those questions there. Maybe if you need me, I can write the review. I mean, what we need to do if there's an incident happen with that sidekick job.
Yeah, I would say just check in with the secure automation team and see who wants to write that. I do know that there is an open question about who will own this moving forward, and that is something I'm actively trying to figure out at the moment. Sure. Part of that will depend on if we are going to pursue other integrations with other cloud vendors, and who will actually go and do that integration. And I'm trying to make the answer not be us. So we'll see how successful I am there. But yeah, if we want to write something up in terms of the like steps we would need to take or any abuse or any like failures, that's probably worth doing. And then just pencil in like a TBD of who would actually go and do that work.
Okay.
I'll follow up in this issue as well. I haven't gotten to notifications quite yet. It is a run book in production readiness is a separate concern from ownership going forward. I would be uncomfortable and it would be inappropriate for us to write a run book for things we did not write. So I would expect this to be a part of, I would expect definition of done to include run books for the parts that everybody was responsible for delivering. Is the way that I would phrase this. So I will push for and would expect us to write documentation for a production readiness review if we need to get that formal for the sidekick worker and everything that delivers data to it. I would expect security automation to deliver a run book about the service that they have written and stood up in order to integrate with a third-party provider. And that would be part of a handoff that I would expect any team to be, that would be an artifact I would expect any team to deliver to any other team they're handing off something to, because they need to know, they need documentation for what it is. So if we're going to get this formal, then that's what this calls for. Sorry, I got heavy-handed there, and I know it. Okay. I'll ask my question that I added to this. Do we have telemetry?
Actually, yeah, Taylor answered that question. So we don't have any telemetry, but we have Grafana monitoring of the Sidekick job. So we can look into the queue size, and we can, and another thing is like, that is not relevant. Through using Kibana, we can also see the different exception, but we don't have any metric monitoring, like, yeah, that is what we have. We may support one if we want. Do we need anything like that?
This is a support. It's just a matter of being able to monitor if things are getting backlogged, or if there's or if something just, if there's no traffic, and if things are look abnormally quiet. It's looking for outliers, and so that's step one. Looks like we've got it. So thank you.
Okay.
Sikat, if you could double check that link I posted. I think that should have the right filters for the Sidekick queue, but I'm not entirely sure since it doesn't look like it's finding anything.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
The only other thing I would add is that the Threat Insights team is working to push vulnerability data into Sisense so that we'll be able to do reporting. This is something that I'm just waiting for it to happen. With this shift of, I'm going to butcher this, so apologies, with the shift of some of the data team organization changing that was announced, I think 2 weeks ago, Wayne is taking over some of that team. With Wayne having a mind of secure features and having direct interactions with the data team, I think we'll see a lot more, how do I want to put, advocacy and effort for tracking some of the more unique aspects of the secure side of the house. So know that I'm definitely watching where we're going with that, and I think we'll have some additional expanded metrics in the not so distant future. I'll see if I can find that issue for y'all.
Sikat, looks like you've got last item on the agenda.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I'm going to run a brown bag session for GraphQL introduction this Thursday. I sent invitation to all actually. So yeah. And okay, yeah, I'll try to move that to secure stage calendar.
Thank you. If you need access or needing some if you want me involved, I'm happy to help.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. All right, we're almost at time. Anything else people want to talk about while we're here?
Yeah, what's the game you played, Taylor? You didn't finish your.
Oh, it was Among Us.
Nice.
I will say, once you play it, I have definitely used sus in my vocabulary, which is really weird. It was fun. You can play it on a whole lot of different platforms, so we didn't have any issues. It was entertaining. We're going to do it again. So something might make sense for the holiday happy hour or whatever we're planning.
I've never played it, but it does look like a lot of fun.
And there's a hack to get it working on a Mac through the Google store. You can do a web search. Otherwise, you have to. I don't even think it's supported. Like Steam is only Windows. So you have to default to the web view. It's kind of crappy, but there's a way to get it emulated just fine. My kid uses it.
I thought Steam was on a Mac now, but they don't always
Steam is, but the game is on the
deliver the
Windows.
game. Oh yeah,
which
okay,
is-
gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it would take all of a couple weeks probably to port it. And you'd open up that market. Guess.
All righty.
I just want to quickly call attention to the read onlys. So one is that I'm requesting feedback. It's all anonymous, but I'm going to be I'm working towards a promotion in 2021. So any feedback about how I can better support you all is definitely most appreciated. You can go into that survey and just leave like things that you like that I'm doing or things that you wish to see more of from the design developer relationship. Really any feedback at all is most welcome. And all of the, I think there's like 5 or 6 questions in there. They're not all required if you just want to go through in one, but again, it's all anonymous. And the second thing is I just added a bunch of design issues that are currently being worked on. And I added a note after each one. So Neil and I chatted last week and thought it might be helpful to include those. The last sentence also includes a link to my static analysis UX epic. So you can also follow along with that. I add everything that I'm working on or looking to work on soon in that epic. And then once it is ready for implementation, the epic will change. But it'll still be a related issue in the epic. I need to make sure that that's all working properly. But yeah, these are all the design issues that I'm looking at that are specifically related to static analysis, with maybe the exception of the group level security dashboard widget that I'm doing some explorations on. But if you're curious about what I'm up to, that's all it. And feel free to go in and add any feedback that you may have.
That's actually a really good reminder. So to tie that together with the Epic proposal that we're doing, part of the thought was Becca tracking any work that she's doing in this UX issue so that me and her don't lose what we're looking at. But then as we finalize designs and create a proper implementation epic, we would take the issue from the UX analysis or the UX epic, move it to the implementation epic and create a technical discovery issue so that we have less of the like convoluted conversations in the parent epic for an implementation where we end up like changing designs and changing technical approach and all of that. So we're trying to like really separate those concerns so that design discussions happen in a singular issue and then have a clean epic tree.
Yeah, so no longer promoting design issues into epics because then it inherits all the comments.
Yeah, that's what we came up with. We'll see if it works. I think it matches what we've been doing, and I think it matches the epic workflow plan. So we'll see how it goes. Feedback welcome.
All right, we're a little bit over time. I'll save my poking at language around epics and the number of times we said the word epic and trying not to turn that into a drinking game. But in any case, happy Monday. Hope everybody, thank you. Welcome back. We'll hope you have a good rest of your week. We'll talk soon. See ya.
Have an epic week.
Oh, good God.